What's up? My name's Jordan Morrison, and this is episode 30 of It Is What It Is. And I'm thankful to have you here because you could be anywhere in the world right now, and you're here with me. And I think that's pretty cool. So I appreciate it. And where do I begin? Hopefully, all of you have heard the new Russ album because it's something, in my opinion, that is groundbreaking, at least in terms of like for an independent artist, an independent artist like Russ. I really do think that he has changed the game. He's for sure one of my heroes, that's no doubt. And he's got such a cool story. And the album that he just put out, Santiago, I really do think that he encompassed a lot of his story from being a kid, making music, to struggling, to making it big, being famous, crushing it, doing all kinds of cool stuff, and still kind of in search for himself. Anyways, the album's fantastic is what I'm trying to say. And if you haven't heard it, you should go take a listen from front to back. It's not really like an album where you kind of like pick out a couple singles or a couple tracks and listen to. It is definitely a front to back kind of album. And I want to take a moment to thank Russ for making that album because it put some fire back in me, and it gave me hope, and it let me know that somebody out there feels the same way. And I'm able to relate to some of the things he said, as I'm sure you're going to be able to relate to some of those things he said in his album as well. But it's been really cool. It's been cool talking to people close to me about the album, people that I know like Russ, people that, I've had conversations with about Russ before. And what's weird is some people hate on him. And, I get it. Everybody has haters. But I just think Russ, I think he's so dope. I think he's very authentic, and that's hard to do. And I applaud him for that. And his music is just rad. So again, if you haven't listened to the album, go do that, because my only experience with Russ in person was at his concert. And this was maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that. I took my brother to Berkeley to go see Russ in concert. And for those of you that don't know, Berkeley is up in the Bay Area in California. But I took my brother up there, and we went one night to see Russ because we're both huge Russ fans. And I kind of wasn't sure what I was getting into or what I should expect. But it's the best concert I've ever been to. When people ask me what's the best concert, or, what concert kind of like changed your life, Russ, that's it for me. And I'll tell you why. That concert was electric. There was something in the air that was tangible that you could feel, and you could feel the energy, and it was pretty wild. When he took the stage, everyone lost it. And there was probably like 800 people at this venue, maybe more, but everyone lost it. And the energy stayed on 10 the entire time. We were maybe like 3/4 of the way back, and the whole concert was packed. And I'll never forget, probably about halfway through the concert, he stops and he takes a moment to talk to us, and he was transmitting energy to the fans. And you could feel it in that moment. You could feel when he was talking that he genuinely meant what he was saying, and he believed it wholeheartedly. And it was almost eerie how much you could sense that in the air, that energy that he had. And it was dead quiet. Everyone's listening to what he's saying. He proceeds to tell everybody that they can achieve their goals, they can achieve their dreams, and there's probably people in the room that can sing better than him and produce better than him, but the only difference is that he stuck with it, that he never quit, and he believed in himself. He has this delusional belief in himself, and he credits that to his success. So he's telling that to the crowd, right? And then when he finishes up, the entire crowd just erupts into a huge roar, like nothing I've ever experienced before. And everyone's yelling, screaming, and he's got his arms open and he's just taking this energy in. Now he gave us some energy and we were reciprocating it back tenfold. It was insane. And he stood there, and when I didn't think it could get louder in there, it continued to get louder. We were yelling back at him. Everyone just like the top of their lungs, just yelling like, ah, like freaking out, you know? And it kept getting louder and louder. And you could see he was just soaking it up. And it was like, I'm getting chills right now thinking about it. It was eerie. And from that point on, I knew that Russ was top 5 for me of all time, at least top 5 all time artists in general, because that moment was incredible. The entire concert was amazing. I'll never forget it. And I'm so happy I got to experience it with my brother, because, a little side note, my brother actually started making music before I did, and at a much younger age. And I totally remember him and his friends making music. And fast forward a few years, I remember having a conversation with my brother and saying like, hey man, you should take this opportunity and start making music again. And he was kind of like, oh yeah, maybe, you know? And immediately in that moment, I remember not only the Russ concert, but I remember feeling in that moment that I was projecting advice onto him that I wanted to take for myself. Like I was telling him like, hey, this would be cool, and I want you to experience something cool. And I had to flip that around, and I had to start doing that for myself and saying like, hey, I personally want to experience something cool. Why don't I go out and do that for myself? You know? And that's one of the coolest experiences that I've had, is taking care of myself and putting myself out there, putting myself first and taking care of my needs, which is important. You know? I'm just thankful for Russ. I continue to be thankful for him, thankful for my brother. Those two guys, top tier, cut from the same cloth for sure. So that's my Russ story. That's my Russ experience. And like I said, I'm glad I experienced it with my brother, because it was wild. And shout out Russ. That's the man right there. So again, if you haven't listened to it, go check out Santiago. The energy there was wild. Speaking of energy, my mom has been on a 10. She is, I think she's worried about me, which, I mean, should she be? Probably, but she's worried about me like finding a girlfriend. And like I said, her energy's been on 10 because a couple months ago, she's in Mexico and she meets this like nice, sweet couple, and they're like in their 20s, I guess, or something. And my mom's like, first off, they're together. And my mom's like, like to the girl, like, like my son, like you should meet my son. Like what, you know, I get it. My mom, she likes to put herself out there like that. But then like, you know, she makes friends with this couple and they're like, oh, like we have a friend in Dallas. And like the moral of the story here is my mother is just, she did it again too. She called me and she was like, hey, I was at the store and I ran into this girl and started talking to her, and you should look her up. Like, here's her name, like follow her on Instagram. And I'm like, yo, I don't know where you learn these techniques, mom, of like trying to set me up, but you should be paid for it. You should do this as a job. This should be a career for you because you're great at it. And I hit up the girl that you set me up with from Mexico through other friends. So your boy's trying, mom. Your boy's doing his best, and the best is all I got. So I appreciate you. Thank you for looking out for your son, for worrying about him, but I'm good. I do, believe it or not, I do have game. I know that's hard to believe, but your son's a little swaggy with it. You know what I'm saying? And I got a podcast now, and I'm 30 episodes deep. And I made some music. So things are looking up for me. Things are looking up for your boy. What else have I done recently? I have been running. Been hitting jujitsu. I've been eating good. I've been sleeping good, stretching, doing my thing. I appreciate all y'all. I hope you go listen to Santiago. I hope you have a great day. I hope that you find everything you're looking for. I hope that when you put on your favorite pair of shorts this weekend to go out downtown, I hope you find $20 in there. And I also hope that when your ex hits you up, you let him know he a little bitch. So unless it's me, unless I'm your ex, then don't say that, because that would crush me. But with all that being said, that's a wrap. We out here. Later, skater. Bye.